Welcome, everyone, to another debate from Intelligence Squared US. I'm John Donvan of ABC News, and once again I have the pleasure and the honor of serving as moderator as the 6 debaters you see sharing the stage with me here at the Skirball Center for the Performing Arts at New York University. 6 debaters, 3 against 3, will be debating this motion: organic food is marketing hype. Now, this is a debate. This is not a panel discussion or a seminar. It's a contest. One team will win and the other will lose. And so on to the debate.
One thing that people are concerned about is pesticide residues. Maybe the vegetables or the fruit that's been sprayed in a conventional farm leave tiny residues on the surface that you may eat when you consume those vegetables. Those residues are there, when they are present, in such minute quantities that they are harmless relative to the natural dangerous chemicals that occur in all the food you eat.
And the actual reality is that 99.99% of the carcinogens that you ingest are from Mother Nature. They're there mostly in the plant foods that we eat and consume and brew. And therefore, if you're eating organic food at all this additional expense, you might be reducing your exposure to cancer by something on the order of 1/10,000th of 1%.
John brought up a few things that I'm going to address, including pesticide residues and sort of dismissing any level of harm whatsoever. And if you're eating carcinogens in one thing, why not eat it in everything? That is simply a dangerous theory. And as a toxicologist for Consumer Reports, I have to say that we barely understand what one chemical does at one point in time. We have no idea what the multiple exposures to low-level pesticides, chemicals, drugs, heavy metals does to anybody. Organic doesn't allow the use of most synthetic pesticides. It's true, as John points out, that some pesticides are allowed. But one report estimates that about 60% of the pesticides that are out there are classified as a known, probable, or possible carcinogen.
There's no question that organic farming reduces pesticide risk. It's laughable for anybody to argue that it doesn't.
And while our opponents are purporting the miracles of genetic modification and pesticides and how wonderful they are, what most consumers don't know is that those things were not required to be tested for how well they work or how safe they are before they got out on the market.
Do you all know that the average baby born in America has like 200 chemicals in its blood the moment it's born from the exposures to its mother? The scientific literature is loaded with thousands of papers that demonstrate a connection between exposure to pesticides and these adverse health outcomes. So to say that there's no risk from pesticides and no evidence, I mean, if you don't believe in science, fine.
You would expect those with organic on their business card to make the claim that organic food is better for you. Not surprising, Chuck, well done.
What I had a hard time following was the notion that on the one side that defended organic food, organic farming, there was a listing of 80 scientific papers that proved the health benefits of organically produced food. And on the other side, there was a lack of trust in the scientific data. So I was hoping that we could actually talk just briefly about one.
Sure. The British Journal of Medicine published a study about 2 years ago that showed that children born to mothers who consume predominantly organic milk and meat during pregnancy, with its elevated levels of conjugated linoleic acids, which are a heart healthy fat, the children had lower levels of eczema. It was really the first time an actual health benefit in humans from consuming organic food has been proven and published in a peer-reviewed journal.
We know that cows overproducing get mastitis, and then there's pus, if I could use the word pus, in the milk. No one wanted to use the word pus. And maybe pus is not bad for you, but I thought it was
In terms of animal drugs, and in particular antibiotics and growth-promoting hormones, hormones that push animals to produce more quickly, organic farmers can't use them. It's against the rules. And that's, again, embodied in this standard. So when a company promotes organic food as better for animals, this is one of the reasons.
Organic animals eat a diet free of poop. Second thing, organic is free of antibiotics. They cannot be used. Antibiotic resistance is a huge growing public health problem in this country. We feed antibiotics to animals every single day. We wouldn't do that with humans. Third, we feed animals, chicken broilers in this country, things like arsenic, if you can believe it. These are toxic heavy metals that we actually feed the animals.
If you care about how animals are cared for, if you care, it's great that we can, buy cheap bacon and eggs don't cost much, but if you do care about how animals are cared for, organic agriculture is the only system of agriculture backed up by solid rules that require sound animal welfare. Livestock on organic farms have to be given an ample space to carry out natural behaviors. They have to be raised in an environment where they can stay healthy without their daily dose of antibiotics, which Urvashi spoke about. They have to be given access to outside.
The reason we get flu every year is from Asia, where most of the chickens and ducks are still kept outdoors, and they are wandering up and down the street of the village, and it is the interaction between humans and those animals that we get the Asian flu. Modern confinement production is protecting you from those diseases.
Okay, Urvashi, since we're talking about
I'm sorry,
standards.
Dennis, that is just garbage. The H1N1 was a mixture of bird, pig, maybe something else. We have huge hog farms in North Carolina. We have huge problems with bacterial problems down there from the poo pits. This doesn't just come from China. We've got the problem right here with industrialized agriculture in this country. It turns out when we're better to the environment and we're better to the animals that we raise, and we don't soak these animals and the ground they're on with drugs and chemicals and heavy metals, it turns out that might be better for us too.
So the results are in. Before the debate, on the motion, organic food is marketing hype. Before the debate, 21% of you were for the motion, 45% were against the motion, 34% were undecided. After the debate, 21% remained for the motion, 69% are against, 10% are undecided. The side against the motion wins. Congratulations to them. Thank you from me, John Donvan, and from Intelligence Squared US.